Good morning guys and welcome to another video on the Retrobrown channel. Today we are going with Jumpluff, grass flying Pokemon from Gen 2. You know what? Actually quite excited for this one. Jumpluff is a very speedy Pokemon and he's a absolutely fantastic stall set. So this may actually become a very interesting run. So let's start off with naming myself, which is Brown. And let's move off to go and find our Pokemon. So let's talk about the base stats. We got a total of 460. It is a second tier evolution, and that's spread mostly across its defensive stats. Its attack and special attack are not very good, and we start off with some decent moves in all honesty. I mean, not Splash, that's not, I don't know, it's a useless move. But we get Synthesis to start off with, which is a fantastic move really. We defeat the rival without any problem really whatsoever, and if need be, we've got Synthesis there just to give us a bit more insurance. So we're going to name the rival Alfonso. He's been the rival for a couple of the videos so far. Thank you for joining the channel. Let's get started with Falkner's Gym. Now we don't have a great type matchup with Falkner's Gym with being a grass type. We are still weak to flying type attacks even though we do have that type in. But because we start off with Synthesis, we can actually, like, it's fantastic having Synthesis starting off with. We can get through these battles really easily, even though our only attacking move is Tackle. It's going to be a while before we even get another attacking type move, and that's going to be level 13 when we get Poison Powder, which isn't really a direct attacking move. There's going to be better moves that we really want. In all honesty, the best two moves that we really want off the level up moveset, we want Sleep Powder and we want Leech Life. Poison Powder will just fit a niche for the time being. But yeah, it's not going to be the best move that we need. We beat Falkner without too much of a problem. Just having Synthesis in our moveset gives us enough time to stall out, and we can move on to the rest of the game. So we've actually picked up Poison Powder now at level 13. And that's pretty good considering though we had Union Cave coming up, and we have Rock-type Pokemon to go against. Our only attacking move was Tackle, so we have to rely on the poison damage to take him out. And this is where you might think, oh, you know, Jumpluff's doing really well. It hasn't lost a battle yet. Yeah, it hasn't lost a battle, but because we're using mostly stall tactics, we are actually taking a lot of turns in battle. It's taking us a while to take out any Pokemon, which means that all that time is going to accumulate, and we are going to increase the amount of time it takes to even get through this game. So as much as I would love to say that Jumpluff is going to be one of the quickest runs that we have done, unfortunately it's just not going to be because we can't deal enough damage out to get one-hit KOs. We have to use our stats, we have to stall, we have to keep our HP up. It's a lot of turns in a fight just to do this. Once we get through to Azalea Town, we go against Bugsy. Now Bugsy actually does have the type advantage here with being a bug-type trainer. Fury Cutter will do fantastic damage, but the difference between... reason why Fury Cutter is not going to be a problem in this fight, in all honesty, is because we've learnt Sleep Powder at level 17. Fantastic move, and when you stall out the Fury Cutter, you break its chain, he has to start right at the beginning again, so his Fury Cutter doesn't accumulate in damage, and we get a first time victory against him. We have not lost a single fight yet, but that might change with the rival. So we had to wait until level 22 where we could learn Leech Seed. And that's because Poison Powder doesn't affect Ghastly. Tackle doesn't affect Ghastly, and I didn't want to get rid of all my PP just to use Struggle when we need those moves to make sure we get past the next Pokemon, which is the Quilava. So once we put him to sleep, we Leech Seed, and that'll keep our HP up, and we just Tackle to chip away at his HP. He will wake up every now and then, but the Sleep Powder, Leech Seed, Tackle combo is just phenomenal. It's a great move combination, and because we are such a speedy Pokemon, it makes this run really a bit of a breath of fresh air really. Now we move on to Whitney, and of course we're going with the exact same strategy, but this time we've put Headbutt on our moveset, a 100% accurate move at 70 base attack, and it has the chance to flinch, so it's a big step up from Tackle, which is what we needed. So the big scary thing about the Miltank, it uses Rollout, and like Fury Cutter, it's an accumulative move, and she also has Stomp. But good thing we've got decent bulk on us because we can actually tank some of the hits, And even though we get put down to really low HP a couple of times, she uses Milk Drink to get back their HP. Sleep Powder, Leech Seed, it comes through for us in the end, and we still have not lost a fight with Jumpluff. This actually makes me really excited for when Skiploom or Hoppip come up on the wheel. Because if this is how good Jumpluff is doing, where we actually aren't losing in a single fight, this is going to be a good Pokemon regardless of what the end time is. It would probably be one of my more favourite, because I genuinely never used these Pokemon as I was growing up. I looked at Hoppip, I saw that it started off with Splash, and I was just like, nah, I'm going for other grass types. But anyway, we are on to Morty, and we've actually renamed our Jumpluff Pluff Daddy, because I feel like it has really earned this swag status here. We have not lost any battles so far. The big problem about this fight though, we do not have one single move that can directly attack any of his Pokemon. We can't even go to the likes of the Celadon department store and get anything. We would even need to go and get hidden power to be able to do this, which, to be fair, you actually can't do because you need to beat Morty to get Surf. Well, to be able to use Surf, sorry. So the only thing we have to rely on is Leech Seed. Yes, this is an entire fight against Morty where all we have to work with is Leech Seed. And so even though we get cursed, we have two moves which can recover our HP. We can get them to sleep, we can synthesize, we can Leech Seed, and we can keep our HP up from that. And we just need to let Leech Seed do its work. And this is what I mean again by this is not going to be a quick run, because these fights take so long. And they take so long because we have to chip away at them and stall them out. That is all we can do with some of these fights at this stage. It makes them a little bit boring, but in a way it's also kind of exciting, because oh yeah, we've gone down to half HP, but we get a little bit of health back, and then he does big damage with Shadow Ball, and then we get a little bit of health back. It's kind of exciting in some ways. So we are going to beat Morty in this fight. Because we can Leech Seed, because we can synthesize, we can keep our HP up and just let Leech Seed do its work. So I'm going to have a chat about the level up moveset that we can also get. It's extremely shallow on damaging moves. We can get Mega Drain level 44, which we will do. We can get Giga Drain, which is locked over in Kanto. We can get Solar Beam, which I think is also locked over in Kanto. We can get Hyper Beam, we can get Snore, we can get, well, we've taught Headbutt. And Hidden Power as well. Yeah, we really don't have much to work with in terms of outward attacking. Direct attacks really don't have much to work with. Jumpluff is primarily a support Pokemon. So doing a solo run with it is extremely interesting. It's really fun. So once we've beaten Morty, we've spoken to Jasmine in the Lighthouse, we can move on to Cyanwood, and we can give it a go against Chuck. Now Chuck is going to be an interesting trainer. Yeah, we don't have the greatest moveset for him, but pretty much this combination of moves will win us the fight. He doesn't have any super effective moves against us. Karate Chop will do decent damage, but we've set up Leech Seed and we can put him to sleep. And then we've got Synthesis in case we really need it. Headbutt is a fantastic move for us to have. Easily one of the better moves we could have. I mean, I could go and get Hyper Beam, but with the recharge turn, I don't know if it's going to be worth it. I mean, we do have decent bulk, it could work, but I don't feel like it's going to be the greatest strategy here. We can go and get Return as well, which is probably one of my staple moves in Gen 2 runs. But I want to see how far we can get with just Headbutt for the time being. I mean, that flinch chance is really, really good. And it might help us out in some of the fights coming up. We could also get Toxic, but that's again locked in Kanto once you beat Janice. So we've beaten 5 gym leaders. Jasmine is usually a really tough fight. So I'm going to go out and have a go and see how we do. If we can get them to sleep, we can Sleep Powder, Leech Seed. I think we can do alright. Let's soon see though, because we are weak to the electric type attacks that the Magnemites will throw at us. But as long as we can Headbutt, we can keep them to sleep, we can Leech Seed, we should do alright. And there's first Magnemite down. So okay, we're level 35 going into this fight. And now she decides to send out the Steelix straight away. It's a very slow Pokemon, as we saw in one of my previous videos. Steelix is annoying to go against, but Even more annoying when you use it as well in the solo run. What we want to do is just let Leech Seed do its work, keep our HP up, keep it asleep. That's all we need to do. It's a foolproof strategy. It really works when your speed is that high, like that base 110 speed is absolutely phenomenal. She goes for a hyper potion, which means that we now need to start again, but she only has one hyper potion. That means that we've got past that. We just need to whittle it down again, keep it asleep, let Leech Seed do its work, and we'll have easily quite won this battle. I'm more worried, in all honesty, about this final Magnemite. Yes, we're going to get hit by Iron Tail, and that does massive damage because we have been hit by a Screech. But yeah, the final Magnemite knows Thunderbolt. We are weak to Thunder, well, electric type attacks. So we need to see how we're going to do here. We do outspeed and put it to sleep, which is good. That's what we needed. It evades Leech Seed, not very good. But now it's Leech Seeded, it's asleep. We should really have the battle in our corner. We just need a couple more headbutts, maybe one more, and there we go. We have beaten the Steel Gym first time. We are doing this run up to this point without losing a single fight. That's right, we've already got past 6 gym leaders without losing one single fight. This is actually how broken Jumpluff is. Pluff Daddy is... I might have a new favourite Gen 2 Pokemon in all honesty. I did not realise how good Jumpluff actually was. We nearly come close to losing against this Gyarados here, the red Gyarados. We finally get it to sleep after it misses so many times. And we just go for headbutts. We get Leech Seeds back. We synthesize, and Leech Seed finishes off the fight. Leech Seed is genuinely such a broken move. You cannot take it off unless you switch out. It's broken. I love it. I absolutely love this move. So we watch Lance Hyper Beam a random passerby. Random passerby? No, he's part of Team Rocket. What am I talking about? And we start off the Rocket side quest, which, as we know, I'm not the biggest fan of in this generation. But it gives us a good chance to get some levels up because... yes, we are a bulky Pokemon, but we don't have a great damage output with 55 base attack. We have now switched Headbutt for return because it deals more damage out. But the same strategy still applies. We've still got Synthesize, we've still got Sleep Powder, we've still got Leech Seed. The only thing we've changed out is Return. And that's because there aren't any Pokemon coming up that we really can't tackle with this moveset. As long as we outspeed, we can get set up. It's pretty much our fight. Leech Seed... it's such a broken move. I love it. I might. You know what? Does Meganium? Does the Chikorita line learn Leech Seed? I actually can't remember. You know, does Chikorita line actually learn Leech Seed? If it does, then I feel like that's probably a decent. Might actually get a decent solo run out with it because nobody seems to like Chikorita and Meganium and Bayleaf. No one. Anyway, let's talk about price. Price again. I don't understand why they decided to put his level so low. I mean, we're a grass-type Pokemon, he's mostly got water types. Yes, we don't have a super effective grass-type move, sorry. We won't get Mega Drain until level 44, and to be honest, I actually don't think I'm going to need it. I think Synthesize is definitely a better move to have, and Leech Seed, Chip Damage, Sleep Powder is just broken. I think we might have our moveset for the rest of this game. Maybe up until likes of Blue and Red. But yeah, I think we're doing alright with this moveset. It's just these battles take a long time because it is a lot of chip damage, a lot of turns. If we didn't have to do that and we would just do one shot in our way through, you know what, I would actually say this Pokemon would be as good as Typhlosion. Genuinely think it would be as good as Typhlosion in terms of time. But it's definitely not going to be because the battles go on for so long. That... in time, it's just going to keep creeping up and creeping up. So Professor Elm calls us and says there's something wrong with the radio tower. We ignore all that and we go straight to the basement and we're going to go against Alfonso. So Alfonso here is going to give us a good fight. This is one, apart from the Azalea Town rival, this is probably the harder rival fight in the entire game. As long as we can get Golbat to sleep, which we missed 3 times in a row before actually hitting. And I'm going to have to go for a Leech Seed. I have actually decided to get rid of Synthesize for Mega Drain just for a little bit more type coverage. And this may be a bad move on my part. When Golbat wakes back up, Leech Seed's not recovering enough damage really. Wing Attack is doing big damage. As long as we... Yeah, we lose. For the first time this run, we lose against Alfonso. And that was because we just didn't get the greatest RNG. We really didn't. So, how do we do this differently? Well, we don't really. The strategy does work. It was just bad RNG on that last part. Now we've got a lot more HP to work with. We'll just use one Mega Drain, get a little bit more HP back. And, you know what? Sleep Powder again. Let's get a little bit more HP because the next Pokemon coming out is the one I'm most scared for. We've got to deal with his Quilava, who has Flame Wheel at this point. Not a great move to go against when you are weak to fire type attacks. But we do outspeed, so we need to do as much damage as possible with Return. So we're going to Sleep Powder just to make sure. And we'll just go for Return to see how much damage we do. It's not a one shot, but it's still asleep, so 2 returns will take out the Quilava. So we're looking pretty good now. We've got the momentum in this fight. I'm just going to see how much Return does on Magnemite. It doesn't do too much, it's just about half. Maybe just under half. So I think like if we can get a little bit of HP back from this Magnemite, we've got the Haunter and the Kadabra coming up next. Oh no, Kadabra. Kadabra's in the next fight. It's the Sneasel. Sneasel's up next after. So yeah, we get our HP back. We do get paralyzed annoyingly, and as long as we don't get cursed by this Haunter, we should be fine. So we can set up Leech Seed, and we're in a good position. The Sneasel I'm not worried about because it's even though my Sneasel one was absolutely phenomenal, it was definitely one. It was my first A tier Pokemon on this list. I'll just check back on my channel. You can find the video for it. It's a very good run, very good video. Yeah, it feels like the rival doesn't use Sneasel right, really. There are some amazing moves that Sneasel can learn and some great stats that it can utilise, but it doesn't seem that they programmed this Sneasel to utilise them very well. Either way, after a long time trying to beat him, we take the win, and we can move on with the Rocket side quest. So, we'll Paralyze Heal, Super Potion up, and continue on. And this brings us to the end of the Rocket side quest with Archer, the Rocket Executive. And this one was a worrying battle because he is using 2 Fire Pokemon, which we're very weak to. I mean, our special defense is actually pretty good, so we don't take too much damage from the Embers. And once we can finally get into sleep, so it still decides to take about 3 or 4 turns, we can start getting our HP back with Leech Seed. And this gives us a good position in the fight. The next Pokemon is going to be the Houndoom, and I'm not really too worried about that one. But, yeah. We've just got a little bit of... just got to work our way through, really. So, Sludge is not going to do too much damage. And then Houndoom comes out. So we do need to get it to sleep, because Ember will do bigger damage than the Houndours will. And now it's asleep. We can get our HP back. I should really use Leech Seed there. It's definitely going to do more damage than Mega Drain will. He wakes up and uses Smog. That's not a good position to be in, because we are now poisoned. Which thankfully not badly poisoned. If we were badly poisoned, the poison damage would accumulate instead of just doing a set amount each time. So we do take the win, we get the Rainbow Wing, and we can move on to Claire. Now I'm always worried about Claire. Dragon types are not easy to go against when you don't have an Ice type move. But we do outspeed, we can Leech Seed, and our regular strategy gives us the chances we need to be able to create openings and not really worry about even getting hit. We're not going to get outsped by any of these Pokemon. We're not even level 50 at this point, we're level 49. And as long as we get this strategy set up, we're fine. We get a critical hit there. Wow, we actually took something out in one shot. And Sleep Powder is just working in our favour this time. We've had a lot of fights in this run so far where Sleep Powder decides not to hit for about 3 turns. This time it hits pretty much every single time, and it makes me so happy for that. The Kingdra is a lot more bulky than the Dragonair, so we do need to set up Leech Seed this time. We'll need that chip damage, we need that extra HP coming our way. We are at full HP, but it doesn't really matter, I just want the extra chip damage. And with one final Leech Seed, we take the win, and that is all 8 gym badges done in Johto. Leaves us only on one place to go. That is the Pokemon League, but before the Pokemon League, we have our final fight with Alfonso. let's give us a good one, mate. So, Pluff Daddy is doing a one-shot nearly on the Sneasel. We are 18 levels above, and we still don't one-shot that Sneasel. That's kind of worrying, but thankfully it doesn't do too much damage to us. So, Leech Seed on the Golbat. It's asleep. We're in a great position here. Return does big damage. And the final return takes it out. So we're actually starting to get a bit more momentum with getting through these fights a bit quicker. Return has definitely made a big improvement on that. We are nearly one-shotting a lot of things because the level cap has widened a bit, really. Most of his Pokemon are in them late 30s, mid 30s, and we're looking at the 50s, early 50s, late 40s here. So the Magneton became a bit of a problem in this fight. It took a while to get it seeded by Leech Seed, and we were paralysed as well, so we are always going to go second in this now. When you paralyse, your speed gets halved. It's an annoying little trait, and you've got that chance to be paralysed, but yeah, unfortunately that's what it is. But we do manage to get the sleep off against Haunter, and then it confuses us. So we're not in a good position because we didn't get the Leech Seed up there, and we are starting to lose a lot of HP, and we take our second loss of the run. Both to the rival. I was not expecting that out of all the trainers in this entire run, that the rival would be the one to take us down twice. Not even, we beat every single gym leader first time, but we didn't beat the rival first time on each attempt. So yeah, the rival actually is pretty good against the Jumpluff. When the RNG is just not in your favour, yeah, it doesn't really help. So, Leech Seed is not going to do all too much, but it's going to get us a little bit of HP back every turn. You know what, I am actually missing Synthesize. I really wish I hadn't got rid of it for Mega Drain, but what can I do now? I've got Mega Drain. I can't use Synthesize on a TM because it is not a TM in this generation. So we need to get this Typhlosion to sleep. It finally does, and we're on quite low HP. We're going to Mega Drain just so we can get bits and bobs of HP back. It keeps waking up, which is really annoying. So Leech Seed is just working away. It finally keeps asleep for one more turn. So we're going to use Return, just get rid of it, and hopefully we can get a bit more HP back on the Magneton. We aren't paralysed, so Sleep Powder works straight away. Leech Seed is next, and there we go, we can start getting our HP back. I'm going to use Return just because this Magneton is a bit more problematic than the other Pokemon. If it hits us with a Thunder Wave, then yeah, that doesn't put us in a good position for the rest of the fight. Haunter is out next. This is the run killer last time. We get it to sleep first time, perfect, and Leech Seed hits. And we're looking a lot healthier now. Mega Drain does big damage. It does wake up and confuses us, but Leech Seed is set. As long as we can get back to sleep, we should be okay. There we go, it's back to sleep. And one final Mega Drain just gets us a little bit more HP back for the final Pokemon, which is Kadabra. Now, Kadabra is very defensively weak, so one return is more than enough to take it out, and we take the win. That means we are now at the Pokemon League, and we can try our luck against Will, the Psychic-type trainer. Only Pokemon I'm really worried about on this is going to be that Jinx, because it has Ice-type moves, and we are quad weak to Ice. So yeah, we need to make sure we outspeed and take that out as quick as possible. Xatu doesn't go down without too much problems as soon as it's asleep, and the Jinx comes out. Sleep Powder hits, and come on, Return, please one shot. It's not a one shot still, but we take it out with a second. So we're through to the second Xatu, third Pokemon in, and we get Confuse Raid. That's really annoying. We do hit ourselves in Confusion, we get hit by Psychic, and he goes for a Max Potion. We hit ourselves in Confusion one more time, and the final Sleep Powder gets hit, so we are going to use Leech Seed strats now. We need to get our HP back, because we've got bigger Pokemon coming up that we need to deal with. Once this Xatu is going to go down to a final return, we've got a decent amount of health now, and fourth up is the Executor. As long as we can get it to sleep, Leech Seed will not affect the Executor because it's a Grass-type Pokemon. So I need to remember that for future runs. But with a few returns, it takes it down. Last up is a Slowbro, and this is actually a good Pokemon because Mega Drain is super effective against it. Once it's asleep, it can't do anything. We can get our HP back up to full now. We'll not have to use a potion between fights now. And we beat Will first time. This brings us on to Koga. Koga is a poison type trainer. We're weak to poison, so this is actually kind of a scary fight. But we're a speedy Pokemon. That's what we're banking on. Return does big damage on Ariados, and it takes 2 to take it down. So we're at level 54 now going into the muck, and we definitely need to Sleep Powder here. We need to Leech Seed, and then he wakes up and uses Minimize. That's not great. So we managed to miss a Toxic, and then we get Toxic there. So this isn't good because we're badly poisoned now, which means that every turn it's going to accumulatively deal more damage via poison. So we need to start dishing out big damage. Yeah, we really need to. We're not in a good position here. No, we're really, really not in a good position here. Oh, this is going to be close. There's 2 Pokemon left, unless we can take them out with critical hits. Nah. Okay, so we have lost to Koga. If we get poisoned, that's it. The attempt's pretty much over, because we never get just normally poisoned. We're always badly poisoned. The difference is normally poisoned only does a set amount of damage. Badly poisoned, it keeps adding on more and more damage every single time. So we need to make sure that muck does not poison us, and the only way we're going to do that, let's get it to sleep. It does use Acid Arm, which is really annoying, but once it's seeded, it's going to do a set amount of damage every single turn. We can just keep chipping away at it, keep it asleep. This should be a better attempt with better strategy. Pluff Daddy takes down the muck, and the Crobat is out, so we actually outspeed the Crobat, which doesn't happen very often, really. Crobat is one of the fastest Pokemon in Gen 2, and yeah, to be able to take it out and outspeed it is phenomenal. So Pluff Daddy is, yeah, it's definitely gone up again in my estimations. Venomoth is asleep, 1 return takes it out, and last up is the Fortress, who does no explosion. So we need to get it to sleep, we need to seed it, and we need to take it out quick. But we've only got 1 more return to work with, and then we have to use Mega Drains. So it's just woke up, crap. We finally take it down. This was a long battle. This was a very, very long battle. Bruno's going to be a bit easier. He does have Rock-type Pokemon, and not many of his attacks are very effective against us. I'm worried for Fire Punch on Hitmonchan. But other than that, we should be okay. As long as we can get him to sleep, we can use Leech Seed, we can use Return. Yeah, we should be okay. So, Hitmontop, honestly, I'm really disappointed about buying Bruno's team. It could have Rolling Kick, which is a pretty good move. It could have Triple Kick, but it never uses it. It's got Dig, it's got Quick Attack, it's got Detect. Yeah, I feel like Hitmontop actually did not do very well in its debut generation. I really want to do a run with it though, because Tyrogue was awful. I've done a Hitmonchan run up to now so far in the Kanto Solo Run series. Hitmonlee and Hitmontop the only 2 left to do. So, Matchamp's next. Sleep Powder is taking it straight into that. We're going to Leech Seed it. And then Return should be more than enough to deal with it over a couple of hits. So yeah, Bruno is actually pretty easy as a Jumpluff. Pluff Daddy is swaggering his way all the way up to the champion here. You may not, well, of course you can't see me because I'd never have the camera on, but I literally just sat and swaggered in my chair there. Please like me. This brings us on to Karen. Now, Karen is very problematic. And it's for 1 Pokemon, literally just 1 Pokemon. That is the Houndoom. If that thing hits us with Flamethrower, that's the run ended. Yeah. And we also don't want to get hit by Sand Attack with Umbreon. Umbreon, again, she's pretty much the Agatha of the Elite Four in Gen 2. As soon as we can get Houndoom to sleep, we can take it out as soon as possible. We return. We should be Gucci. So, 2 returns will take out the Houndoom. Vileplume is out next, and we want to make sure that we don't get hit by any status effects here. We actually can't put it to sleep with Sleep Powder because it's a Grass-type Pokemon. So we just need to take it out and return as quick as possible. Gengar is next. Please don't wake up and use Curse, because that will really ruin my day. Leech Seed gets hit. We're going to Mega Drain just to keep chipping away, because this is all as much as we can do really to do damage to this Gengar. We get paralysed, of course we get paralysed. And Spite hits, and we've got less to work with on Mega Drain. Thankfully, we did get Leech Seed set up, and we're on to the final Pokemon, which, of course, is Murkrow, who was very defensively weak. One return, nearly takes it out, but the battle was pretty much ours. So we actually did get a first-time victory against Karen. Very surprising. There's not been many resets in this entire run, and I'm very, very happy about that. Let's see how we do against Lance. So Lance is going to start off with Gyarados, who wants to set up the rain. That's fine with us. We don't want Charizard hitting us with a Fire Blast, so that we actually need it to set up the rain. Once it's used its Hyper Beam, we've got a few hits in on it, but it's only on low HP. I'm not too sure how many... Now the rain's... It's not going to bring out the Charizard next. It's going to bring out his Dragonite because he wants to use Blizzard. That's a lot of damage. We need to get it to sleep. Okay, this is not a good position to be in. I'm going to have to use Mega... Oh, no. What is our luck there? Let's try this again. Pluff Daddy will not stand for this. We get the Gyarados to sleep. The rain has been set up. Let's Leech Seed and get some damage in. So Return is a great move. It does as much damage as based off your friendship. The higher your friendship, the more damage it does. Perfect move for us when we don't really have too much to work with. So we managed to get the Dragonite to sleep and Leech Seed to start doing some damage. Return does just under a half damage, but because of the Leech Seed damage, we can take it out in 2 returns. So with 2 Pokemon in, Aerodactyl is next, and we do outspeed the Aerodactyl, which I was really worried about because Aerodactyl is a ridiculously quick Pokemon. But Jumpluff is faster. It's great. You have no idea how many of these runs I've done so far where I've used slow Pokemon, and when you finally get to use a fast Pokemon, it just makes you happy to play the game. Slow Pokemon are tedious, fast Pokemon are just a joy to use. So I'm a Jumpluff advocate right now, absolute Jumpluff advocate. So the final Dragonite, we get him to sleep. Leech Seed is set up. Our strategy from pretty much Azalea Town is still relevant right at the final fight. Oh no, we got one more Dragonite. Oh, I really hope he doesn't thunder us because that would be very annoying. So, Return does big damage. He's not asleep, but we do have Leech Seed set up, so it's only a matter of time. Return hits and we become the champion. Oh, wow. That took a long time. This has actually been quite a long video. I'm very sorry for that, but there's just so much good footage to use. So now we've become the champion. Pluff Daddy has swaggered his way in. He's taken the crown at level 57. Great level to finish on. Usually it's around about level 60. So 57 is a very good level. We'll see what time we finish on. We finished at 6 hours 42 in-game minutes. So you know when I was saying before that all those extra turns in battle are going to accumulate up? That's how bad it actually made it. Typhlosion did the game in just over like 3.5 hours. I genuinely think if we had one-hit KO moves, we'd have been beating Typhlosion with how quick we are. But unfortunately, that's what we have to work with. Let's move on to Blue, as you are seeing here, and we will see how we do against the 8th gym leader of Kanto, because none of the other gym leaders were worth really showing. The biggest problem, of course, is going to be the Arcanine who has Flamethrower. Once it's asleep, Leech Seed is set up. Pretty much, it's an easy fight. And we're only level 65 here as well. We haven't got too many levels going through Kanto. I'm actually hoping that we can beat Blue and Red before level 70. So we've only been able to do that with a few other Pokemon. I really want to find more Pokemon I can do that with. And if Jumpluff of all Pokemon can do it, that would be fantastic, because I was not expecting Jumpluff to have done this well. So next up is Gyarados. Sleep Powder doesn't hit. Hits on the second time, and we can get Leech Seed set up again. It might get a little bit repetitive that that I'm pretty much been using this strategy in the entire video, but it works. If you actually tried a Jumpluff only run, you try it with a different strategy and show me how you do. I feel like this is definitely the optimum moveset for a Jumpluff in Gen 2. But I am more than happy for someone to show me the video that they have done differently on. We take the Earth Badge first time, and we are moving on to Red. Can we be Red first time? We'll soon find out. So we're level 69 and we outspeed the Pikachu. There's a great position to be in. We don't take it out in one though, but we do outspeed, so we take it out in the second hit. Next is Charizard, and this is scary. We want to get Sleep Powder up, we want to attract, we want to get Leech Seed up. It's finally woken up, and Infatuation helps us. This is why we've left Attract until this final fight. So Return will do big damage, Charizard is still asleep, and the most threatening Pokemon on his team goes down to Leech Seed. Pretty much, we should be good as gold here. So once we've got Sleep up, we've got Leech Seed set up, we've got Attract set up, their Pokemon have got so many boons against them, they don't know what to do. We can use Return to chip away and just let them accept their fate. Espeon goes down and it's 3 Pokemon to go. Now Snorlax is worrying. Because it is so bulky and can actually attack while it's asleep, we do have a bit of a problem. Snore is... It's not the greatest move, but the fact it can hit while it's asleep is a bit of a problem. This is why we wanted to track, so it reduces the amount that they'll actually hit us. But one good thing about using Leech Seed on a Snorlax, it has a hell of a lot of HP. Meaning, when Leech Seed actually hits, it takes us back all that damage that we've just taken off Snorlax. And that was around about 40 to 50 per Leech Seed, which is fantastic. So we can't use Leech Seed against Venusaur. This is a little bit of a worrying situation. We can't get our HP back. And Solar Beam starts hitting quite a lot. We need to keep Venusaur asleep. We need to hit returns. And this is where it started getting a little worrying in this fight, because we do have one more Pokemon up next, which is going to be the Blastoise. And that Blastoise does know Blizzard, which we are quad weak to. Which I'm kind of worried, I'm kind of concerned why he hasn't brought it out earlier in the fight. But we do take down the Venusaur and we're on to the final Blastoise. If Sleep Powder doesn't hit here, it does thankfully. If it hadn't have hit there, we would have probably lost to Blizzard. So, Attract is up, Leech Seed is up. We need to hit our returns now. So, it's going to take a few more hits now. Blastoise is really bulky compared to our attack. And a final Leech Seed takes him down. We take the win, just going over the level 70 mark. And that's a first time win. First time win against blue and red. That's insane. I really want to place this higher, but of course it's level and its timing are not that great, in all honesty. Level 70 is really good. I'm actually quite happy with the level. I mean, I wanted it to be under level 70, but this is what we had to work with. That speed stat definitely made this run. So we finished at an 8 hours and 1 minute's timestamp. I really wish it was a lot lower, but unfortunately with using this strategy it takes a lot of turns in battle. It's all we had to really work with. So that's the end of the video, and it's time to start thinking about what we're going to get next time on the wheel. So we've talked a lot about stalling strats today. I'm really hoping for a one-hit KO move Pokemon. I don't think Azumarill is it. It doesn't have huge power until later generation, so it's kind of useless, and Marrow wasn't a great run. Quilava, we had very good time on the Typhlosion run, so that could be a strong contender. Last up is Gramble. No, I think I want to go with Quilava. I think, you know what, it doesn't get Thunder Punch, so this actually might be a harder run. If you got to this point in the video, please like, share, subscribe. You legends, I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next week with a Quilava run. Take care.